All right, we are Facebook Live, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to be looking down a lot because I'm going to have to see if people actually make comments and ask questions and stuff like that. All right, guys, welcome to Not Your Mama's Advice Show. We're gonna take questions from the audience. People actually emailed me in some questions, so we can answer those as well. So if you guys have anything, please type it in. Yeah, this is what's going to happen right now. And of course, there's a time delay, so it's just going to be totally messed up trying to watch this thing and answer the questions. So I'm going to start you guys out. First of all, let me introduce everybody. We have Carolyn Plummer, good friend, comedian, and clothing adjuster.
She's folding laundry at the moment.
Fixing my chair.
We got Steve Bjork, another fellow comedian, published author. Then we have Chad Zingalis, who runs Amherst Country Club and Zinger's Comedy and Music Club up in Milford, New Hampshire. So none of us—
Great to be here, Mike.
Yeah, none of us are professional anythings. So we're going to answer your questions as best as we can, and it might not even be that good, to be honest with you. So we're going to see what happens. All right, here's the first question that got emailed in, and this has to do with kind of being quarantined. So I'm going to direct the question to certain people to let them answer first. This is the greatest question ever, and two of you can answer this one directly. My kids' heads are spinning around like Beetlejuice. What can I do to calm things down and survive the next 30 days? Steve, let's go to you on that one first.
We'll start with a bottle of Bullet Bourbon, and drink quite a bit of that, and then give a little bit to the kids. It's good for them. It'll settle them down, and it'll teach them the finer things of life. That's
fair. Chad, your advice?
Mike, I'm going to refrain from answering any questions about children. I still have some stuff that's got to get cleared up in the courts. So if you could maybe move on to the next question, that'd be great.
I guess that's safe. I got a 1-year-old, so I was kind of hoping for some better advice from you guys, but apparently that's not going to be very helpful.
If you don't have bourbon, by the way, duct tape is a good alternative.
Oh, okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, I should probably add though, Steve. You want to make sure you're not wrapping it around too tight. That's part of the issue that I got into. So the duct tape's fine. You just got to remember. Definitely don't use that. What's that? That waterproof tape. Don't use that. That was a bad idea. Just
okay. Now this next question. Well, considering I'm the only current married person in this room, I'm going to see if you guys can answer this question. It might be funny for you two. And Carolyn, you can actually have an opinion as far as this goes. The next question was this.
I can have an opinion. That's great.
You can have an opinion. I'm allowing you to. My wife and I had great lives before this quarantine. Now I don't even know who she is. I don't think I like her. That's why he didn't want his name posted on this. I'm sure his wife is watching. And I technically can't answer because my wife is on the other side of the camera right now. So I can't answer that question. So Carolyn,
Mike, you went out for a minute. Can you read the question again?
Okay. My wife and I had great lives before the quarantine. Now I don't know who she is. I don't think I like her.
Okay.
So this person needs some advice on how to survive this. Does anyone have a thought?
I would say don't ask that question.
Well, he was anonymous, so that was a smart move to start with.
That was the best decision he made. But I mean,
I guess follow-up question: does he have a shed?
Oh, that's a good question. Now, what would he do with said shed?
Live in it.
Sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Okay, Chad.
I mean, I guess if we're going to ask about sheds, does he have a fair amount of garden tools, shovels, that sort of thing, bag of lime? I don't know.
Any reason for that, Chad? For gardening, I'm assuming?
Yeah, no, there's no reason there, Mike. It's just making conversation.
All right, Carolyn, I'm going to pose this next one to you because you seem
Okay.
to be someone that likes to cook from time to time. So here's the question. This is what I have left for food. What could I make? 2 cans of salmon. Yes, cans of salmon. 1 hamburg patty, applesauce, goldfish crackers, frozen peas, and a bag of halos.
I would say salmon cakes with the canned salmon and the you said bread, some sort of crackers.
Goldfish crackers.
Yeah, I would mash up the goldfish crackers with the canned salmon, canned salmon, and make salmon cakes.
Drain it first, yeah.
And then I guess serve applesauce for dessert. And someone could have the hamburger patty. And what was it? Halos?
Yeah, little orange halos.
I guess you could make a salad out of that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you
good
probably
advice.
have other things in the fridge, like, mayonnaise and stuff like that, I'm assuming. So I don't know. You need to go to the store, get masked up, and go out.
This is coming from a woman who's trying to be creative with the food. Gentlemen, what would you possibly do with those ingredients?
So, Mike, I've seen that episode of Chopped, and I tell you, your best bet, throw them all in a slow cooker, set it for 6 hours, and walk away.
See, that's a man answer right there. Put it right, Chad. Chad's agreed. You don't even need to jump in.
Yeah. No, I have to say, this is probably the same guy that was asking about not liking his wife. I would say put this into a blender, just wound it all up. You're going to use the hamburger patty as a kind of a tartare, if you will. Just put a little bit of that on top of that, and away you go,
Fair enough. Folks, don't forget, if you're watching right now and you have any random question, please ask. This next one is fantastic. Carolyn, you may not want to answer this one. You may actually have advice, but let's just, what is the best cream for an itchy taint?
Yeah.
We said anything.
I think we hit a nerve with Chad.
Chad knows the answer. That's why.
That's what he said. He's going, it's fucking easy.
So,
I got exactly what you
I will tell you, I have some investors involved in a new project. It's actually a taint deodorant stick that's going to be hitting the market pretty soon. It's actually called Taint Bad.
That actually took me a second. I was going, what? Ain't that Chad? Well, let me ask you this. So that's a product you could use. Let's say you're stuck in quarantine and you can't get out. What are the best household?
Oh, that's simple. That's simple. Cans of salmon, hamburger, and goldfish crackers.
And halos.
Blend
And
it together.
halos. Blend them all up.
Make a cream.
Yeah.
Cover the taint. All
I
right.
would say anything with menthol in it. Or hot sauce, because then you'd forget about the itching.
No.
You'd be burning.
As a woman, menthol, hot sauce, not shit you want to put near the taint.
Yeah, but it would stop the itching. It would start the burning.
Carolyn, your level of hotness is going down by several degrees at a time right now.
Yeah. I don't think you're really grasping the concept of this.
Take a shower.
I bet you'll never guess who asked that question, by the way.
That was Kyle Crawford.
No. Steve Ondis. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Steve and his itchy taint is always the way to go. Well, the questions are not pouring in, but I do have a couple more that were written in beforehand. So, guys, please ask questions if you want. I don't care how random it is. Okay, here we go. Oh, this one's a simple. This is actually a legit question. What's a safer place to get ice cream during quarantine? A local gas station or a supermarket? An actual question. I want to get anyone who's got a good answer for that one. Wow, this is a thinker.
I don't know where the safest. I don't know where the safest place to get it is. I will say, though, I'm surprised. I went in the supermarket the other day, and they were like completely sold out of ice cream. And I don't know what the run is. All of a sudden, toilet paper is back on the shelves. Ice cream is off the shelves. I don't know what the connection is there, unless everybody who's been quarantined has decided, the hell with my lactose intolerance, I'm going to go for it. I don't know.
Yeah. It's a good point, Steve, because now they have plenty of TP to take care of that if it is an intolerance.
Okay.
Apparently.
Yep.
Carolyn?
As someone who frequents gas stations when I'm on the road and have gotten ice cream, like ice cream sandwiches at a gas station, I would say the supermarket is the safest place because it's probably newer.
Mm.
It's been sitting around for a while in the gas station.
Yeah, freezer
Nice.
burn.
Freezer burn. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. We kind of get a repeat question coming in, but maybe.
I'm curious about. I'm actually. Hold on, Mike.
No, go ahead.
I'm kind of curious about the who asked that question and why they thought that would be. That they wanted their information from this source.
You know what? People don't realize that this is supposed to be kind of funny. So maybe they're going, you know what? I fucking need somebody to talk to. And this poor face is the best I got right now.
I have to say, I don't think this is funny at all.
It's because you're not, because you're a part of it. So it's kind of, you balanced out the funny to the creepy.
I will
When you
second
catch on fire, it'll be funny.
It'll be hilarious.
romantic.
And Chad, you've also put your shirt back on, which didn't help.
Carolyn, a
real nipples, brother.
follow-up question to what you said about going to gas stations a lot. Somebody wants to know if you spend a lot of time at truck stops.
I don't know what that's implying, but no.
Just reading the question.
Not anymore.
Just
Not since the quarantine, if that's
Not
what you know.
yeah, not since the quarantine.
Okay, someone has a legit question. We were talking about kids earlier, and you guys were saying duct tape and whiskey and stuff like that. But this person actually wants to know, how can she stay sane with her 2 children at home while she's trying to work in the house?
Oh, you can't.
Legit.
Yeah, no, that your first mistake is trying to remain sane. Give in. Give in.
The first mistake was actually having children. The second mistake is giving in. If you have a shed, though, like Steve was saying, I mean, I would say a solid padlock on the outside of it, put the kids in there, you're good.
What if you don't have a shed? Could you lock yourself in the bathroom? Would that be safe?
How about a crawl space?
Crawl space would be nice.
Crawl spaces are nice, yeah. That's all, Steve.
Yeah.
All right, next question that was just texted to me. Again, legit question, but let's see if you guys got answers. Why is it okay that alcohol is allowed during quarantine to be purchased, but marijuana is not?
Well, because drunks are violent people.
So why would, why would you allow them to drink? Don't you want the world fucking stoned out of their minds right now so they can totally stay calm?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but if you take the booze away from the drunks, you're asking for riots and violence. I mean, can you imagine half the people we know if they had to go without a drink for a day or two?
That's a good point. I never thought about it that way. Stoners just get kind of like, dude, what the fuck, man? Like, why? Okay. Wow, I never thought we'd get a legit answer out of that one. Well done, Mr. Bjork. All right, here we go. As a mom that is new to homeschooling, I find myself struggling to keep it all together. I have a 10th grader, an 8th grader, a 2nd grader, and I'm losing my mind. How can I care for myself during this time?
You got to make it fun. Give the 10th grader assignments to your 2nd grader. Give your 2nd grader assignments to your 10th grader. Mix them up. And then when they have difficult, punish them severely.
But they're stuck in the house during quarantine. They can't go anywhere. What could be a step-up punishment from you can't go anywhere or see anyone?
Tell them you're going to FaceTime all their friends.
Hey.
Oh, that's good.
I was thinking scavenger hunt that involves finding things on highways, deserted roads, and inside creepy houses.
Yeah.
If they make it back, they win.
Right.
All roads are deserted right now, Mike.
That's a good point. And
yet WBZ is still doing traffic reports every 10 minutes. It's traffic on the 3s, and they're getting very desperate at this point. You listen to the guy, he's giving his report. We got 2 cars backed up on Route 9. They had to wait for a couple of turkeys to cross the street. Those turkeys are taking their time. You might want to steer clear of that area.
All right, we have a question coming in that actually 3 of us can answer, and thankfully Carolyn cannot answer it. What's your beard grooming routine while in quarantine? Chad, let's start with you.
My beard grooming routine, if you will, is I wake up in the morning. I comb it with a very light bristled brush.
Yes.
I will sometimes massage some beard cream into it, and I will also trim it. I use a very specific trimmer that
Trimmer, no scissors.
no scissors. I don't use anything
That's
that's
key.
no. I have to make sure that it's the same length in all areas. It's very important. Yes, that's my answer.
Okay, Steve, how does all yours happen?
I didn't have a beard before this quarantine. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to see anybody. I'm not going to go anywhere. Might as well just let it go wild. And this is as wild as it seems to get. This is what it looked like 5 days in. Like my hair, my beard hair has grown a 1/4 inch and then stopped. It's not in patches. It's very full, but all of it has decided to come out about a 1/4 inch and then stopped. So basically my facial hair, which has been trying to come out of my skin every day since adulthood, is like an indoor cat. It has finally managed to get out the door. It gets about 2 steps on the porch, and that's as far as it goes. It doesn't know what else to do. That's my beard hair. My beard hair is an indoor cat.
Okay. All right, mine is pretty simple. I wake up, I ask my wife to dye it because it's 100% gray, and she doesn't let me go out unless she fix it. I'm not allowed to groom it myself, so she bought me a ruler that actually fits to the side of your face to put the lines exactly, because I'm so messed up, I can't do a straight line of trimming. Then when I'm done, she tells me I did it wrong and she fixes it. So that's kind of my routine. Yeah.
I was going to ask you about dyeing it. What is that? What is that color you're using now? Is that what is that? ACDC
Kiwi
black?
black.
Well, no, actually, if it's lit up, here we go. Let's light it up a little bit. It's brown with the gray poking through because I'm fucking old. I got a 70-year-old beard, so it's yeah.
Now, do you have to do anything to touch up your eyebrows, Mike, so that matches?
Yeah. So my wife, let's turn the lights back on. So this is actually one. It's just one. But thankfully, because I got married, this is gone now. So she trims the brows to, so they can fucking look like this, right?
Yeah.
It could be creepy. Yeah.
I also notice the darker you dye your beard, the whiter your teeth look. It's kind of nice.
It's kind of an illusion. But here's the only problem she refuses to help me with. What do I do with the shit that's coming out of there? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's getting gross. And I just refuse to trim it because who's looking in my ears right now? Nobody. Except for my kid.
All of Facebook.
That's how you keep a marriage fresh, Mike. I'll tell you right now. That's how you keep a marriage fresh.
Groom my ass while you're at it. All right, next question.
Because she definitely wanted to get married to Yoda.
Oh, here's a great question. I don't even know who this person is. How can you continue to have an affair when you are stuck in the house with your spouse? Wonderful question. Wonderful question. Anyone? Chad, you're living with your spouse, trying to have an affair. How do you do it in quarantine?
First of all,
the shed?
The shed's a great option. It sounds like a shitload of work, quite frankly. I don't, not to mention the germs. I mean, you got to make sure that the person you're having the affair with is clean. Have they been wearing a mask? Are they wearing a mask? What's you got to wonder where they've been. I mean, if they've gone to Costco or Walmart in the last 24 hours, that's a highly dense population there. You got to be careful with that.
That's a legit answer, Chad, and I did not see that coming from you.
Appreciate that.
They see Contagion.
I haven't, no.
That's part of it.
Is it
what
really?
I'm thinking about.
Is this person
Chad, here's what I'm thinking about. In respect to your response, if you're married and you want to stay married and you're still having an affair, then the last thing you want is a clean person. It would be my guess. I think you're after someone who's really dirty. So go to the crawl space, go to the shed.
Just be filthy.
You know what? Yeah. Have a really, really naughty Zoom session.
Yeah. No.
So you're saying it's kind of all or nothing, Steve? Is that what you're saying? I mean, because it could be kind of the end of the world type situation.
I haven't been in that situation. I've never had an affair. I would just think that if you were doing that, you'd want to be, you'd probably want to go with the dirty factor.
Yeah, I'm going to kind of agree. All right, here's a great question. Now, we're going to have to start getting a little creative with the questions. Someone's children, apparently parents are doing really well letting their kids watch this. What are alternatives in the house to toilet paper? You run out, tissues are gone, the standards, paper towels are out the window. Where do you go, Carolyn?
Coffee
So-
filters?
What's that?
Mhm.
Coffee filters?
Coffee filters. But now,
That's what we did in college.
Age of Keurig, who has coffee filters?
I do.
All right.
I do too.
I have a
So
Keurig and I have a coffee maker.
That's right.
We know where to go if we run out of TP.
Paper?
So-
I mean, they probably have schoolwork, right?
You're talking like regular, like printer paper, like lined
Sure.
paper?
I mean,
and shit?
you're desperate at this point, right?
That's a rough place to get a paper cut, Carolyn.
True, true. Right on your taint.
Mike, did I hear you say this question came from a child?
I don't know how young the kids are, but yeah, he said, my kids want to know an alternative to toilet paper.
So look, you got some stuffed animals, right? They're soft, they're furry. I think that's a way to go.
I'm going to quote someone else's joke so they don't think I'm stealing it, but Ryan Gartley has the perfect line. He goes, I guess I'll shit then shower.
You know?
I think, Mike, this is an obvious answer. All of the socks that don't get matched out of the dryer, you just
Oh, that's a good one.
plethora of those. Let's start wiping with those.
I didn't think we were going to get anything good out of you guys for that one, but some brilliant stuff going on there. All right, moving right along. Let's see. Is it considered first-degree murder when you choke your significant other during quarantine? Somehow could you get out of it because of what we're going through?
Is this the same guy that's having the affair?
The same guy that hates his
Believe it or not,
wife.
I got a lot of messed up people in watching right now.
This is the wife of the dude that hates her.
I bet there's
So-
probably going to be a COVID clause when all of this is over. And yeah, and it'll be like when people, it's self-defense almost.
So what you're saying, Carolyn, is in the time of COVID, as you
Yes.
like to put it,
In this time of COVID,
in
as I
this
like
time
to
of
say.
COVID, it will be okay to kill
I think
someone.
I don't think murder's ever okay, but I do think that you get to a point. I mean, I've been there when I haven't been quarantined, just on a weekend with people where you want to murder them.
I would say the point where I'd want to murder you, Carolyn, is when you start wiping your ass with the coffee filters.
Well, thankfully, I have plenty of toilet paper, so.
I think there will be a legal strategy, not guilty by reason of temporary quarantine.
Yep.
Uh,
Did it all because of the COVID.
Mike McCarthy wants us to shave our beards off and just go porn stash. No need to comment
So
on
Mike, I do intend to do that at some point.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still like my
absolutely.
wife, so I'm not going to do that because I don't have anywhere else to go right now.
You got a shed?
Oh, someone else had a good idea for toilet paper. Drag your ass across the rug like a dog. So I guess that could be a workable.
Or a cat.
Or cat.
Dude,
My dog's over on the chair right now licking her ass. So I guess there's always that option. Not for
You lick her ass?
I could do my own. I'm very flexible.
Oh.
A lot of people watching, not a lot of questions. Oh, how should we handle online parties? I wonder if they're talking about everyone that does these like Zoom parties and stuff like that. Is there an etiquette, or because you are being watched no matter what you're doing, is there an etiquette to an online party, or is it no holds barred because you're in your fucking house and if they want to watch, that's their own business? Chad?
that's a great question. I don't get invited to a lot of parties. I only have 4 friends. I just met Steve tonight, so he counts. But I would say, the safest bet most of the time is wear pasties. That's a
Okay.
nipple. Steve?
Nipple joke.
Steve, what do you got? Any etiquette to online parties?
I say, look, if you're stupid enough to let me into your party, you're gonna take whatever's going on in the camera.
Carolyn?
Yeah, same. I mean, you're in your house. I think it depends on your friends. If they'd make an ass out of themselves at a real party, they're probably going to do it online as well. Looking at you, Chad.
I think if you really, though, here's the thing, though. If you want to have some fun Zoom party, don't wear bottoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, great point.
I mean, I'm not wearing anything
Nobody has
underneath
to
right
know.
now.
Nobody, unless, and we don't know, and there's no reason for us to know unless you get really upset, and then you can tell us what you think.
Or if your taint starts to itch.
If your taint starts to itch. Yeah. All right, this one's coming out of my mouth, and it's legit, and because I'm gross. How many days is too many to wear the same clothes?
Oh, I haven't reached the number yet.
Still counting?
I have to tell you, the one thing about this social distancing, well, two things. I have saved a boatload on breath mints, and I'm saving a ton of money on laundry detergent.
I did laundry this week because I ran out of sweatpants. Usually the other way around. I ran out of sweatpants and I wanted to wear them and I had to wash them.
I've lost 8 pounds because I don't go through the drive-through anymore. I haven't, because I don't have a gig. Usually I'm like, fuck it, it's Wendy's. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I've actually lost weight because I have to stay home, and my wife portion cooks and we have healthy food and crap.
You don't have the Burger King app that they keep advertising?
Great, come on, wait, let's break for a second. Greatest line ever. You can't be here for us, so let us be there for you.
Yeah, because they've always been there for me in the past.
Because when I'm starving at home during quarantine, a fucking Whopper is what I want delivered to my house.
Where Burger King lost me was when they got rid of the microphone. Do you remember the microphone next to the cash register?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes.
That was because I'd go in, I'd be working up in Portland, Maine. I'd be coming home at like 2 a.m. And on that main turnpike, that Burger King, I'd go in there and it becomes this involuntary confession. They're like, yeah, let me get a double cheeseburger. And all of a sudden the guy goes, double cheeseburger.
It's old school.
Can I get a medium? Can I get a medium fry? Medium fry. It's like it's just like this involuntary confession of what the big guy's having for dinner.
All right, here's the next question.
Computers have ruined our lives.
Here's the next question.
Clearly, we're doing this right now.
What's that, Chad?
I said, clearly they are ruining our lives. We're doing this right now.
What else would we be doing on a Saturday night right now?
It's true.
I did text something funny to Steve yesterday. He said, what time's the show tonight? I said, get there at 8. It starts in October. So. All right, next question. We got a few more to go here. What's the funniest or strangest thing you've sanitized since this began? Well, obviously, it could mean Lysol, hand sanitizer, whatever. Like, what is something that you either brought into your house or had around your house and you sanitized? You're like, I would have never on a normal day fucking clean this thing. Carolyn?
I don't know, the weirdest thing?
It's weird, strange, or just something like you would never sanitize on an everyday basis.
I guess just grocery shopping, like I over sanitized everything I bought and my whole house smelled like Lysol wipes when I went to the grocery store. And I wouldn't normally sanitize a box of cereal. You know what I mean? Like, it's just strange.
Steve?
My toilet. I don't normally sanitize that.
Never coming over.
Why should you?
Chad?
Probably I lift a lot of weights in my spare time, so probably, my weightlifting equipment.
Sorry, you must have cut out. Your weightlifting?
I do a lot of weightlifting. Yeah, Paul Landwehr's not the only person that weightlifts around here.
That's a good point.
I do a lot of heavy lifting, and
Well, you should post it 17 times a day so we can see it.
I sanitize my weights, Mike. Can we get to the next question, please?
Your weights.
Is somebody sneaking over your house and using your weights, Chad?
It's not showing there.
Is somebody sneaking over your house and using your weights without your knowledge?
Olivia Newton-John.
If they are, they're sanitized.
See, everything in my house comes in sanitized. My wife is like phenomenal. So like if the mail comes in, she grabs the Lysol and she sprays the mail before it comes in the house. If we get boxes outside, she sprays the box, opens the box, and then brings the stuff in the house. The box doesn't even come in. And I think that's phenomenal. Like at first I went, this is fucking crazy. And then I go, I don't want to catch this shit. So yeah, she's sanitizing Amazon. The Amazon drivers are now afraid to come to our house because she's going to fucking douse them if they pull in too close.
She spray the
my
dog.
Sorry, go ahead, Carolyn.
She spray the dog when it comes in.
Oh yeah.
I had a moment of weakness during this quarantine. My daughters convinced me to go out and buy a hamster for them.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that for when they're there or when they're not there, Chad?
And let me guess, you over sanitized it?
I've been sanitizing the hamster, yes. By the way, the hamster,
over-lubed. I mean, whatever.
No, that's a gerbil, Mike. But the hamster, you need to learn your rodents. The hamster is the most useless pet I think I've ever had. The damn thing is nocturnal. So during the day, you don't see him. He like hides in his little hut. And then at night, he makes all that damn noise on the wheel. It's ridiculous. Stupidest thing I've ever bought.
It's like
But I love you, girls.
Yeah,
Do you have a shed?
Dr. Nibbles misses you.
Dr. Nibbles.
Wow. Okay, next question. We got a couple more here, guys. Did you guys all watch Tiger King?
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right. They want to know what your favorite Joe Exotic song is.
Oh.
I think Here Kitty is absolutely the hands down the best one.
That's what the person put. I'm like, it's got to be Here Kitty.
Is that the one where he's feeding Carol Baskin's head to the tiger?
Don't tell me. I haven't watched it all yet. What's the matter with you?
Oh, Chad, I'm telling you, I want to hire Joe Exotic to do my eulogy when I die.
Oh my God! I want him to sing at my funeral, or lip sync at my funeral, whatever you want to call it. All right, another legitimate question: what is your go-to breakfast in quarantine? Is it the same every day, or do you try to switch it up? Chad.
Yeah, I've been pretty solid just hitting the Crave cereal. I don't know how many of the viewing audience have ever had Crave. It's terrible for you. It's a very chocolatey cereal. Recently, I've tried to mix it up, not by switching up the Crave, but I actually ground up some of the Crave and started snorting it. It's good.
Are you a milk or an almond milk? Are you trying to be a little healthy?
All milk, Mike. All milk.
All milk.
Yeah, all milk.
Plumber, what's your go-to breakfast?
I've been switching back and forth between eggs, just fried eggs, and this organic granola that I got that came with my nuts.
Healthy. Came with your nuts?
Yep.
Oh.
These nuts? All right.
Yeah, these nuts.
These
That's what
nuts.
it came with.
Steve, breakfast?
So every single day I do a couple of fried eggs, and I've been trying to give up salt, so I douse them with paprika and turmeric, and then I throw them away.
Good way to do it, I guess. I start with a cup of coffee, and it's always the beginning. I can't do anything before the cup of coffee. Then I eat whatever my son hasn't eaten, and depending on how much it is, I'll have something else for myself.
And mostly breast milk?
Mostly breast milk, from the tap when I can. No, are you kidding me? You know what my son had for dinner last night? Fucking cod and avocado and vegetables. I'm like, you're fucking one. Like, where are the strained peas and shit? He eats better than I do. Or well, actually the same as I do, because I have whatever he doesn't eat, me and the dog.
You're being a new dad, Mike. You're going to start to get into the Catholic Church rituals. I don't know if you've done that yet, where the kid doesn't eat or drink everything, but you go, it's like the end of communion. Whatever's left over is yours. Got to finish that last slug of grape juice at the bottom of the.
Look, I got an older brother. I've been doing that since I was born. Whatever's not finished goes to me. If my parents leave the room and he didn't finish his food and he doesn't like it, Mike, you're going to fucking eat it, or I'm going to do a spit drool down on your face until it lands. Oh, somebody busted on you, Chad. I'm trying to catch up on the comments. They said they're probably 5-pound weights.
That's what I was saying. He does
I think that-
jazzercise.
Oh,
I think that was Paul Landwehr who said that.
Carolyn, someone just told me that you should tell us about your hamster.
Oh,
Oh.
no.
Well, she looks like she's going to cry.
Nope.
or she's gonna get angry. I don't know.
I know who that is, and that's a no.
She's worried about the MSPCA, I think.
I had a hamster, it died.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I threw it out with the trash.
Did it eat Carol Baskin's husband?
Yes, it did.
you didn't even give it like a funeral or anything?
No, it stunk. Weekend I came back and it was dead and bloated
thought-
in its
I thought you were
cage.
supposed to flush it down the toilet.
It was too big to flush down the toilet.
That's a fish.
Ah.
All right. We're going to end with one final question for everybody, and then we're going to call this quits. For the first one, I think it was okay. We'll see how it goes.
Oh, thanks for that rave review, Mike.
Yeah, well, it's all right. I haven't watched it yet. I've only been a part of it. Okay, here's the question. When this is finally over, what is the first thing you're going to do? Carolyn?
I'm going to go out to dinner with my friends and hopefully do a comedy show
Chad?
in front of people.
In front of people? Oh, well, instead of four squares?
Yeah.
Chad, what are you going to do?
I'm going to build a shed.
Steve?
I'm going to sit down on the couch and complain about my busy schedule.
Good one.
I thought Carolyn started off good with a legit answer, and then it just went all downhill from there.
You know what I still haven't found time to do in quarantine?
What?
Have an affair.
Yeah, that and put together my IKEA furniture. Got all the time in the world and no fucking desire.
Carolyn, can you at least tell us the name of the hamster before we go?
I know who that is. It's Mr. Bojangles.
Mr. Bojangles asked that question?
I know who asked that question.
Of course you do. Of course you do. The first thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to go on a serious note, is I'm going to take my fucking son out somewhere to see something anywhere. That's exactly what I'm going to do. He's 1 year old. He's just started like noticing shit, and all he notices now is he has the same fucking toys every single day, and he's pissed. That's all he knows.
Aren't we all, Mike? Aren't we all?
We are kind of at that point, right? All right, guys. So that's the first episode of It's Not Your Mama's Advice. We're going to try to do this a couple nights a week. I'll probably have these folks back when I can, but I'm going to try to mix it up with other guests as well throughout the week. So if you guys ever have any questions, you can drop me a line. Make sure you like the Facebook fan page because that's how I'm going to start posting everything. Carolyn Plummer, any last piece of advice for quarantine people?
Just be flexible. You know, pick your battles.
That's fair. Chad?
I would say anybody who's listening or watching this, like, don't take anything we've said to heart. Murder is, despite what Carolyn Plummer said, murder is never an option. Yeah, stay safe and sanitary, and coffee filters.
Steve?
In all seriousness, stay in the house. The fastest way that we're going to all get back to work and be able to go out and entertain all of you guys is for you to stay home now.
Absolutely. My advice is this, pretty much the same. Stay at home, guys. Stay in touch with people. Watch. There's a million comedians out there dying for attention. We're all doing shit like this. So try to support us, and we'll hopefully see you guys soon. Carolyn, Chad, Steve, you guys have been great. Chad, you're fucking creepy. We'll see you guys
Jazzercise
soon.
is paying off.
We'll see you guys next time. Good night, guys. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mike.